Oops.
Hello and welcome to IITW Radio. Tonight we have a good show lined up for you guys. You're out on the porch with Travis and
Tammy. Hi.
Okay. Tonight we have Sounds of Imani on. Mr. Gerald, Miss Carol, how are you doing tonight?
Oh, we're doing great.
Yes, we are doing fine today.
Yep. Totally blessed.
Yes. How are you guys?
We're good. We're glad to have you here.
Oh, glad to be here.
Yeah, good to be on.
Let me tell you before we get started, I love you guys' music.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm from the old school. I love BB King. Like my back ain't got no bone. That's one.
I hear you.
That's one of my favorites. I mean,
long as the thrill ain't gone, you all right.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah, I grew up with R&B and jazz and stuff like that long before this rap garbage.
Yeah.
Well,
right.
Not all of it's bad, but I don't get it. I'm an old guy, but I absolutely love you guys' music. I mean,
thank you
so much.
You guys are one. You guys are one of the few, not just groups, duos, single singers. Bar none, one of my favorites.
Wow.
And I love how you guys have combined. It's to me, it's like sort of like R&B, soul, gospel.
Yes.
Some of the old school with some of the new school stuff, and you just combine it all into one package.
Amen.
Yes. That is right.
So you guys are out of Detroit, correct?
Yeah. Absolutely, yes.
How in the world do you manage to be doing gospel in a place like Detroit?
Well, they used to call Detroit the gospel capital of the world too.
Yeah, and used to be.
So we got bit by the gospel bug.
Nothing wrong with that.
Right.
Yeah. Hey, I just figured out how to enlarge my screen.
Hey, there you go.
I'm out of town on vacation, and the computer that I'm using is tiny. I'm used to big screens and all that, 9 different screens and all that. I just figured out I'm going to have to get on to my IT guy. Looking at you guys' file here, I'm really impressed at all the stuff you guys have been doing. How long have you guys been together?
Wow.
What do you say, since 1990?
Well, we've been singing together. We've been singing together since 1996, and that was a little bit before we really got married. We got married because we were just friends.
How did you meet?
Well, one day a friend of mine, he called me up. He said, "Hey, there's a bunch of ladies that are singing, and I'm the only male there. So do you want to come?" I'm like, "Nah, not really." So then he said, "Are you sure?" I said, "Well, I had really kind of stopped singing for a while, but he told me, he said, 'You got this gift. Why are you sitting on it? So come on and go with me.'" I said, "Okay."
Oh, he dragged you into trouble.
Yeah, so I goes over and get on this one. Now I tried to play like I couldn't sing, so she can say, "Well, we don't need you." Yeah, so she said, "Hi, welcome to the group. You're in." I'm like,
yeah. He saw through you.
After that, it's history. We start singing together and then start writing songs together.
Well, how about that?
Yeah.
Look where you are now. It was a perfect match.
Yes.
Well, only God knew.
That's right. That's right.
Can you believe a guy like me said I would never get married?
Oh, sure. I hear it all the time.
Yeah, so my dad told me to be careful what I say and never say never. I said, okay.
That's right.
Yeah, and he was right. And I met my wife. You know what I always tell everybody? Travis, I tell everybody, I said, my wife is like my MasterCard. I never leave home without her.
There you go. My ex is like my American Express. I left her at home. And somebody else stole her.
Oh, my.
Yeah, I was listening to your CD here. The song, let me see if I can get it where the light's
Okay.
not
There you
blurring it
go. You
out.
got it.
Because of Who You Are.
Mm-hmm.
That's one you guys have written.
Yes.
That is an incredible song. You know, during the week, we try to say, because we have so many few gospel singers, we try to mainly feature the gospel singers on Sunday, and, you know, some on Saturday night and some on Sunday, but there just aren't enough gospel singers out there anymore, especially any without any talent. You know, most people that I've seen, they grow up singing in the church and then they get away from it. And so they move on to rap or R&B or anything that'll make them a bunch of money instead of sticking with what their roots are.
Yeah.
But that song, we have put your music on in our regular genre during the week.
Oh, wow.
Thank you.
Oh, yes.
Which there aren't very many, because we get complaints and, you know, from people, well, why are you playing Christian music? Well, because I own the radio station, Tammy and I do. I can play whatever I want.
Right.
That's right.
But you have people requesting you all the time. And it's
Oh, that's great.
Wow.
and it's not just from here. It's not from just the States.
Uh-huh.
You have, I was looking over the list of where all your requests have come, because on the IITW radio page there's a place where people can go down and they can hit the person they like. You guys have people from China, Africa, Australia,
Wow.
Uruguay, even South Korea,
Wow.
which amazed me. Anybody in South Korea would want to listen to anything, you know?
Yeah.
Right. That's awesome.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, it is. And you're one of the few groups that have been requested worldwide. Our station, because, you know, nobody really listens to regular stereo anymore in their cars. These kids, everybody has their phones plugged in, which I still don't know how to do that to my stereo in the car. I just listen to it on there. But you two have an amazing duet. When God put you guys together, nobody can say he doesn't know what he's doing. I know God has a sense of humor, you know. But he has a sense of humor, and he put, you know, the duck-billed platypus. It's a mammal, but it lays eggs. It looks like a beaver, but it's a big rodent, you know. but when he put you guys together, he wanted you guys to definitely do a mission. And
Absolutely.
I think you guys have nailed it with your music and stuff. Now,
Yes.
I mean,
Wow. That's great to hear.
In 40 years of doing this stuff, I don't know too many gospel groups that I've ever promoted. I mean, back in the day, yeah, you had a lot, but as time has moved on and people have gotten more lazy and kind of gotten away from, you know, prayers in school and tried to shove God out and stuff, you guys have really stepped up the ball on this.
Thank you.
What else do you guys have coming up? What's your plans?
Well, we are working on new projects.
New projects,
A Christmas song as well.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. We never had the opportunity to do a Christmas song, really, because I guess we just got kind of busy, and so we said, well, you know, this year we're going to do a Christmas song.
Do a Christmas song, and we're excited because we want to see how it's going to sound.
Right.
Oh, yeah. I'm excited for Christmas.
Yeah.
Now, is this a song? Is this a song you guys have written, or is this something that's already? Okay.
Yeah.
No, we wrote that one.
Okay. I didn't know if it was going to be, you know, I've heard Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, where I want to shoot every deer I see.
Wow.
I have.
Well, I know I won't be a Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Well, I'm gonna have to paint the nose black.
Well, I have a little brother. I have a little brother who's
A green nose.
I have a little brother who's mentally handicapped, and he had brain damage when he was little. And Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer at Christmas time, he's 50 years old now, but at Rudolph, even at that age, he still listens to Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and Ray Stevens, the squirrel in the Pentecostal church. If I hear either one of those songs anymore, I'm going to jump out the window. I mean, I still love them, but
yeah, we thought we'd do something a little different for Christmas, you know, and just come out with something that'll encourage people, you know, during the holiday time, and so we're excited about it, and we can't wait to get to the finished product, and we'll be working on a EP as well, so it'll be something that'll have about 5 songs on it, and 4 or 5 songs, and yeah.
We're looking forward to hearing that.
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, we're going to make you guys get your copies.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
That sounds good.
Now besides, go ahead, Tammy.
No, I was just going to say that both of you have quite an extensive education. You've both been to school a lot.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
I see that, Gerald, you've got a bit of your social work degree, and I bet that ties into quite a lot with your work in the church.
Yeah. We do a lot of outreach, and I used to work at Detroit Rescue Mission Ministry too. You know, and it allowed me to minister to a lot of the people, some of the drug addiction, and things like that.
Right.
And the kids and all, and my wife and I, we do prison ministry as well too.
Oh, wow. I bet that's interesting.
Yeah.
Well,
That's what I was
going to say. That's what I was going to say before you asked the question there, is that with the, you know, where you guys are at and the stuff where you're stuck right in the middle of Detroit. I'm not going to knock Detroit. I've been there, love it, but there is a lot of crime there. And
Yes.
with you guys doing what you're doing, the ministries and stuff, I mean, what kind of turnaround and results are you guys seeing? Because I know that you're going in and you're ministering to these people that are in prisons and stuff, and that's got to be tough to do when, especially a lot of them, you know, a lot of these younger kids, when their whole thing is, let me get the tear because I've killed somebody, you know, the tattoo and stuff. I mean, that's got to be really difficult in an area like that.
Yeah, well, you know, we God chose us to do what we do, and we do not take it for granted, because we have seen lives change. We have seen people give their life to the Lord. I gave a testimony one time about how a battery blew up in my face and I couldn't see, and the Lord blessed me to be able to get my sight back. And as I was continuing to give my testimony, there were 150 guys gave their life to the Lord, and 5 of them was Muslim. So it's a blessing to be able to serve and give a testimony and to bring the word to the guys in prison. You know,
That's incredible.
Yeah. What was it? A car battery or?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I was like bending down and I struck a cigarette lighter and it blew up in my face.
Oh man.
my.
Yeah.
You're
I'm
lucky.
truly blessed.
You're lucky. I have a brother, and hand to God, this is a true story now. His car overheated, and when he was 18 or 19 years old, and he went to check it, and when he opened the hood, the radiator blew up on him, but it didn't hit his face, it hit his chest, and it boiled his nipple off on his chest.
Wow.
And he never could get that back. We call him Uno for one nipple, but you know, but that was just with that, and he's still partially blind in one eye from that. So you got blessed to get your sight back.
Yeah. They had wrapped me up like a mummy, and I told my dad, I said, I can see. He said, "Are you serious?" And my eyes was burning like fire because when the battery blew up on me, it was all over me, and my clothes was peeling off and everything.
Oh, that's so scary.
Yeah, the doctor was so amazed, and he unwrapped my face. He's like, "Whoa!" So I thought my face was all puffed up. He said, "Man," he said, "you are truly blessed." He said, "Your face, man, it just looked awesome, like it never been touched." So I thank God, and I have eye problems now, because my left eye is like I can't hardly see out there too much, so I'm wearing glasses now. But I'm blessed, I'm encouraged by the Word of God, and my wife and I, we constantly minister to those that are lost, and we have seen people who actually got out of prison and told us that how we ministered to their souls blessed them. So they had got jobs and stuff like that.
Yeah, and they look forward to having someone come and really be a blessing to them. That we've gone and we've taken the band with us. Of course, everybody has to get checked in and everything. They have to check the equipment, and so once we get in there, they're waiting for it.
Yeah.
And it's like they're glad to see that someone cares about them, and so we make it a point to at least do that maybe once or twice out of the year.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Now, one of the churches, when up in Louisiana, I come up here, I've been coming up here and helping people that got flooded out. What happened up here was the Mississippi River about 2 years ago backed up into the Bogafly River. And in Louisiana, I mean, it wasn't even raining around here, but 200 miles away, it rained and it flooded 200,000 something homes out up here. So what I've been doing is coming up here and helping people out for a while now. One of the churches that I went to not long ago, the guy was, what's that show where they're on the island?
Survivor.
Yeah, Survivor. He was one of the guys on Survivor when it originally started. He's the pastor down here. And it's a really large church. It's grown. And he didn't make it but a week because he said he couldn't get into manipulating people and being dishonest, so he got kicked off the first week. But I did let him listen to one of your CDs the other day, and he said anytime you guys were in the Louisiana area down by Sidell, he wants you to come sing at their church.
Oh, wow. Yes, that would be great.
So they said they'll put you up, whatever it takes, but he's going to be giving you a call.
Oh, okay, great. Awesome. We'd love it.
Yeah, he said he's got a whole bunch of churches down there that he's affiliated with. He'd love to get you guys in for like a tour down here in southern Louisiana, because with New Orleans right across the bridge, or New Orleans, as they say up here. Or actually, they put a twang to New Orleans. But they said he would love to get you guys down here, to go around to some of the different churches and maybe get a tour set up for you guys.
That would be great.
So
we'd love that.
That was my next question. If it's okay with you guys, I'll just give him your information and they can get a hold of him.
Yes, please do.
Yeah. He's one of the very few preachers that I've heard that when I sit there, I don't fall asleep.
Okay.
That's great. I know my church people are going to be getting on to me for that, but I got to do I can't change me. I blame it on.
Right.
No, don't change it. Don't change it. Stay like that.
I blame it on the Alabama hat and the Alabama shirt.
Just be yourself.
Right.
Don't change. I like that song said, I love you just the
We gotta love him like he is.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
I'm a mess. I can't help it. I'm a mess.
But you're a blessed mess.
You guys have been nominated for a ton of stuff, and you've actually gotten a lot of awards from different Christian organizations. I saw there's some stuff out in Texas. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, that was the first time we ever been to, and so we were there to just introduce ourselves to the saints of God. And we wasn't expecting to win anything, because all we was coming to do was just fellowship and to meet people. So when we got there, they called our name and we was like speechless. We couldn't talk.
Like, really?
Like, are they talking about us?
Yeah.
We're like, oh my God. But it's just something that God had, I told my wife, God set us up. So we got there, and we had a good time. Yeah,
so we were really blessed by that, and it really allowed us to have a wonderful time where we were able to get the things that we needed to get. I guess, and it was unexpected because all we wanted to do was really to come and to have a great time, just enjoying people and meeting people and networking. So we had no idea that we were going to win anything, and so it really took us by surprise. So we were really emotional about that, because when you work hard doing a lot of the things that we do, is great to be honored. And like I said, it was just unexpected. So we had a great time there in Texas, though.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, you guys are also what is that noise? You guys are also involved with the American Music, or the African American Music Festival.
Oh yeah.
Yes, we have done that, and we are on. I think that they are changing that name to be the Rib and Soul Festival now. And so we're supposed to be on that in August.
Yeah.
That's coming up.
So I'm gonna try not to eat no ribs.
Don't try so hard.
So we're on that, and we just recently came back from Greenville, South Carolina.
Yeah, we were nominated in 4 categories. The Rhythm of Gospel Music Award.
Yeah.
And that was awesome.
Yeah. So we made the finals. We didn't get an award or anything like that, but we did get blessed meeting people and networking. And there was one showcase that we were blessed to be a part of, where they selected 5 artists to be able to have radio spins for 60 to 90 days on about 100 stations. So I think that's a real blessing for us, so that more people can hear our music, because we were like, look, we have a lot of stuff, and we really want people to hear it, because I know that our music is different. And like you mentioned, Travis, it does include like a lot of R&B. It includes a lot of jazz, and that's a lot of stuff that we came up with. So you can hear it incorporated in our music, and we want to just share it with everybody.
Yeah, and the people was like, you guys are the peaches and herb of gospel. And all that.
That's quite a comparison.
Yeah.
We're just, we're a station that we showcase artists that are not necessarily mainstream. And this isn't necessarily an award, but I just wanted to let you know that you guys were #1 on our top 10 this past week.
Right.
Well,
and
yes. Oh, we love it.
Yep. And that is not just from Sunday Play. That is from playing your music throughout the week, not just on Sundays.
Yes.
As our listeners, they love you, and they made you #1. So
thank you.
We love them.
On the gospel, out of all the gospel groups, we played on there, and we have 40, 50 of them, Tammy?
Oh, at least, yeah.
And you guys have been #1 ever since we got your music and started playing it.
Wow.
In the gospel category. I mean, you guys have been #1 every week.
Yeah.
Man, that is a blessing.
Oh my God.
You're doing fantastic there.
About to make me tear up right now, y'all.
Yeah.
Wow.
And we do have a large audience between the newspaper and radio show. We have over 1 million people a week. So
that's great.
It's not like you only have 1 or 2 people listening to you.
Right.
It's hundreds of thousands of people, and to get that kind of recognition and stuff.
Wow.
I was asking you about the one of the African American Music Festival, because I've got 2 boys. They're as much as my own. I've adopted them. One's Colombian, and I call him a black kid. He's bigger than me now, and he was.
Okay.
He's like, how tall is Dennis? About 6'2", 6'3"?
At least. He's about the same size as Cameron now, I think. Who's 6'5", 6'4", 6'5".
We were at Walmart one day, and somebody said, "You have a black son?" And Dennis goes, "Oh my God, I'm black? I didn't know." He looked at me. he looked at me and he goes, hey, Dennis looked at me and he goes, Dad, you told me I was Chinese. I can't believe you lied to me. But what kind of, I have a lot of, I help coach a football team and stuff like that. I'm involved with a lot of, not just kids, but a lot of black kids.
Yeah.
And what's the big advice that the biggest piece of advice you can give these guys for, because like Dennis, he has his own YouTube channel. He wants to be, he sings all the time, but he doesn't know if he wants to be R&B or soul or rap or anything. What's the biggest piece of advice you could give these young kids like Dennis and William? And
wow. Well, don't give up on their passion.
Because God have already gave them a purpose, and it has to be nurtured, and tell them to be original, whatever they do. Don't try to be like somebody else, but be like themselves.
Yes.
And the doors will open up, and they don't have to worry about who like them, because God will put the people in their path to show them how much they love them and appreciate them. So tell them don't give up. Just, talk to the Lord, pray and say, God, I need you to help me with this decision because you told me, you promised me that you'll be there for me. So, and pray, and God will give them directions to what they need to do and how. Because when we were coming up, we all had dreams, of being this great star or whatever. But the star is only greater than your faith and how you believe in yourself.
And then they can also begin to, as scripture says, that write the vision and make it plain. So whatever their vision is, they need to start writing it down, what their vision is and how they expect to accomplish that vision. How do you expect to get to where you want to be, the next level where you need to be at? And so they can do that, and then they can start researching up the music business, because they need to learn that and learn different aspects of it, so that they can be aware of how it goes. And if there's any way in which we can help out with that, we'd be more than happy to do that. Because that's one thing that kept us original. We just wanted to be us and be what our music is supposed to be creatively. So let them be creative. Don't try to be like, Gerald said, don't try to be like somebody else, but be yourself and what God created your music to be. And that's what makes you unique. And so they need to keep that uniqueness.
Right. And as Carol said, the main part about music is the business. You learn about publishing, you learn about copyrights, you learn how you control your destiny.
Yes.
Because if you're writing songs that say, for instance, you get a great hit record and somebody know you didn't publish it, they're going to steal your sound. So always learn the fundamental of music.
Absolutely.
About, how to supersede all of that, because some people will find out you didn't copyright your stuff, they'll beat you doing it.
Yeah. So those are some good points, I think, that they can, take into consideration. And above all, don't ever give up on your dreams, ever. Sometimes it may seem like you're not going to reach them, but you will reach them in due time. And some things take a little bit of time. Like we've been singing for about 22 years together. And, not to mention things that we did as children coming up, we were singing in little programs and stuff like that. But together we've been doing this for 22 years. And we've seen a lot of people give up because they just like, I don't see it. Nothing's happening, and they got discouraged. So tell them it's a big field out there, but their minds have to be, steadfast on the Lord.
Now, let me ask you something. We're coming up on the time for you guys to get off the air, but do you mind staying on for a few more minutes?
Sure.
I never do this, by the way. You can ask Tammy at a half hour. We normally cut because we've got our sponsors and stuff.
Right.
But they'll have to understand on this one. The boys, I was telling them, even my daughters, I was telling them one time, they were sitting in there and they were listening to what I call rap crap. And they were sitting in there, and I said, you know, when I was 7, 8 years old, I think 7, I lived in Florence, Alabama. That's where I was born at. And my mom said, she goes, you boys get ready. We're getting in a car. We're going to go up there. And they had a small recording studio up in Florence, Alabama. And she goes, there's a woman here. We're going to go up and listen to her sing. Her name is Etta James.
Oh.
And that was the first time. I mean, that's when I really got hooked on soul and R&B and stuff like that. To hear her sing, I mean, what a great testament, though. I mean, here was a woman that was a drug addict and everything else. And she was also in a time where KKK was big, you know, and going into Alabama, Georgia. I mean, George Wallace was an idiot, you know, at that time. People were stupid. You had Rosa Parks trying, you know, drink it out of the fountain. Here comes Etta James into a town that was predominantly white.
Wow.
And that's the first time I've ever seen. And when I was a kid, there was, I mean, they say racism's bad now. These people that say that did not live during the 60s.
Right.
I know.
Right.
I know.
You know, but for her to walk up on stage like she did, and they bought her out of the recording studio and took her down to the Armory. And you had a few people picketing outside. Well, not a few, a ton of people picketing. And when she started singing and that thing was playing over the megaphones, of course, we were just walking inside. My mom didn't care. I had a black lady that raised me, and I wound up calling her the N-word one time when I was about 6 years old. Let me tell you, that woman beat that word out of me. She said, let me teach you the difference between a whipping and a beating. But it was more that I disrespected her. But at that time, when it was never politically correct, but I watched Etta James get up there, and I watched people. Music changed everybody that was there. No longer were they sitting there. I mean, I saw people laying their signs down. I'm a little kid going, what's going on? And then I was just mesmerized because she sang the song at last. That was her last song. And that's when she had just recorded it. Wow. And I was like, oh man, check that song out. To this day. So I went in and I played this for my kids, and I said, you want to hear what real rap music and real R&B soul work? These are the roots of what music is. And to this day, my daughter that's still one of her favorite songs, and the kids, all the kids.
That's great.
I tell them, don't listen to it with a man or woman, because that will get you hooked. You will be married. Don't listen to it. Stay away from it.
It's good for them to hear some of the former artists, to hear real music, and that
was all the best music.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, are you guys going to be touring any place? Where's your places that you're going to be playing? I've got the list here, but I just want you to say it.
We have a few festivals coming up. We've got one that we're still waiting to hear from, which we usually do every year, which is Michigan State Fair.
Right.
That usually happens in like September, but we have coming up the Inkster Music Festival. So we'll be on there, I believe, August I think it's probably the second week in July. So we'll be there July. Then there's another program coming up at a church that we're going to be at, and we have another festival coming up. So we're going to be pretty busy for the month of July, and we're also going to be planning a house concert, because we also do house concerts too.
Okay.
Yeah, and we also have every third Friday.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Anointed Faces Gospel Coffee House, where we have the venue where independent artists come out and sing, and we serve some good old fried chicken with it, and come in and just praise God. And we do open mic night, and then we perform as well too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I don't know about the fried chicken. My doctor, I've had 2 heart attacks. They finally got my heart. They had my heart reconstructed, and my doctor the other day told me, Dr. Abnaki, he said, we got to take you off the fried chicken and stuff. I said, buddy, I'm from the South. I told Tammy, I told him, I said, you're from India, okay? You don't mess with my fried chicken, my cornbread. And
we do baked chicken too. Baked chicken, meatballs,
yeah, no, there's nothing better than fried chicken. I don't care. You can ask Tammy. I eat chicken 6-7 days a week.
I know what you mean.
He would turn into a chicken one of these days.
Well, you know, at the coffee house, fix it up and everything. They'd be like, "Where's the chicken? Where's the chicken?" So when I leave tonight, I gotta fry some chicken.
Dennis, my boy, it's 6'3", 6'4". He dwarfs me. He said, "Dad, don't you eat anything else but chicken?" He goes, "You don't have to do it because I'm black." I said, "What do you mean because you're black?" I said, you can say that all you want, but I'm taking this back. If you say that chicken's for blacks, I'm taking it back. It's for me. I said, American Indians love chicken.
Yeah.
Since the buffalo were killed off, we had to eat chicken. That's why I love chicken.
For sure.
Probably in the next year, I'll be up Chicago way, and I'll swing in there. Because if you cooking chicken, I'm gonna come eat it.
All right.
That sounds good.
All right. Yeah.
The people at the coffee house, they be waiting. They're like, "We know."
Yeah.
I say, "Yeah, it's good."
Let me ask you: do you guys put sugar in your cornbread or no sugar?
No sugar.
Oh, hallelujah. Tammy, I told you. Tell Tammy, cornbread with sugar in it is cake.
Oh, no.
He makes fun of my cornbread.
Hey, Tammy, sometime I have to do a variety of mixing, some with sugar, some without. Because, we was brought up with that buttermilk cornbread.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and then the younger folks like, I want the other one that tastes like cake.
Yeah.
That's cake. That's not cornbread.
Okay, all right. My great grandmother used to make cornbread with chitlins in it. Okay.
Ooh,
Oh.
I gotta try that.
And I never really cared for the chitlin part of it.
Oh, okay.
But I was little. This is my great grandmother now. She made cornbreads with chitlins and black-eyed peas and
Wow.
all the good Southern food.
All right now.
And I was raised on all that, tomato gravy and rice and, you name it, she made it. Blueberry cobbler. I'm making myself hungry now.
Yeah.
Anyway, I make Jiffy cornbread. Everybody down in the South uses Jiffy cornbread.
Right.
Except Travis. Anyway, I just like Jiffy cornbread, and I put extra corn in it and a little butter on the top, melted it up. That's just how I make my cornbread. I don't know. There's
when I head back from Louisiana and I go through Mississippi, there's a place in Alabama that has what they call Alabama cornmeal. It's in a red bag, and every time I go there, I stop and I get a bag of it, and that has to last me. I don't let my kids eat it. I wait till they go to their mama's house or they go away for the weekend. I shouldn't be stingy. I know God's supposed to share. That's my cornbread. And Tammy, when I make it for her, she's like, "This isn't sweet." I'm like, "We've had this argument since we've been in middle school." But, okay, where can they purchase your music at? We're going to give, I think it's 5. You guys send us some ink pens and some CDs with your single on it to give away. We're going to be doing a contest for that.
Okay.
And that's going to be up at the end of the show. Also, your music's going to be playing at the end of the show. And then on Sundays, you guys are featured every hour. You're the only artist that we have that's featured every hour with a single.
Oh, awesome. Thank you so much.
But if you guys want to get their CD, tell them where they can purchase this at.
Sure. They can go to cdbaby.com. It's on there, and they can also go to Amazon or iTunes. CD Baby is pretty good stuff lined up. So cdbaby.com, and they can get it. They can get it there for 99 cents on the track.
Yep.
That's a good deal.
We got other songs on there too. So yeah.
Yeah.
You got also in the giveaway, we have some 8x10s that they did sign right here.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can get the light to quit glaring off of them. I'm not in the studio, so
Very
there we
nice.
go.
There you go.
Yeah.
That looks great.
I was telling Carol, you guys are very photogenic. You
Yeah.
guys,
Oh, thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank
There
you.
they are. This looks like the fake family one that I have on my desk. Where
oh my Lord.
when I got
It's something else.
Isn't he? Told you he was a mess.
when I bought the picture, their family looked so much better than mine. I just kept it on the desk. People were like, "Oh, you have a beautiful family." Yeah, they get paid a lot for that picture. Here's the other one right here.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
That's
we're gonna be giving those away along with some Sounds of Imani ink pens, and also there's their CD, their single. You guys really need to check this out. By far one of the best gospel groups I've ever heard in my life. And Tammy will tell you, if their music stinks, I will tell them. I have no problem with that. Again, as I've told a few other artists, that is not the case for you guys. There's also 2 songs on here. They're the same song, correct? One is
One is longer than
one is a little longer than the other one.
one is a radio mix, and the other one. But that is one of my favorite songs. As a matter of fact, I was listening to it before we came on the air, and even the 14-year-old that's here, she's into all this, what do you call it, Asian music and all kinds of stuff that I don't understand because I'm an old man.
Yeah.
She's like, "Oh, that's really good." Yes, it is. I guess what I got on the show tonight. And she ran and hid because I told her I was going to have her on here.
Oh.
I want to thank you guys so much for coming on here. It's been a privilege to interview you guys, and I don't say that very often when I'm interviewing people, but I do love your music. And
thank you.
What you guys have done, not just to gospel, but to music. I hope a lot of these kids will take a lesson from you guys, and not only try to make their lives better, but see that they don't have to get up there and cuss. If you notice,
That's right.
We don't have any songs that we play that there's cussing and stuff. I don't allow it on the station. I don't care with 1,200 artists, I believe that's what we have. If sometimes one slips past us.
Accidentally.
The one that was one group that sent us, I think it was 5 or 6 songs. And then there was one about shooting cops and all this stuff. And I'm like, I didn't hear that. And one of our sponsors had went on to listen to that, to listen to the music we have. And that was the first song that popped up. And he goes, "I don't think so." I'm like,
right. Exactly.
That one slipped through with some 28,000 songs. That one slipped through.
Wow.
But thank you guys so much for coming on. I enjoy it.
You're welcome. Thank you.
We are so honored. Amen.
We've enjoyed it so much.
I'm gonna have the preacher from Sidell get a hold of you guys.
Okay.
Sure.
They make fun of me the way I say this stuff up here. I say ham and they go Hammond, but I believe it's in Slidell.
Okay.
And they're going to be getting in touch with you. And if you guys are in Florida, let me know. I'll make sure that you guys got a trip over to Disneyland.
Absolutely.
Disney World, not Disneyland.
Wow.
Disneyland's not as big. You don't want to go to California. Well, thank you so much for coming on. We love you guys, and thank you for allowing us to interview you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Anytime you want us to come back, let us know.
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you.
We definitely want to have you guys back on. That is no joke.
Yes.
All right.
And we'll look forward to that Christmas song, too.
Oh, yeah. We'll keep you posted on that.
All right.
I'm gonna give it to my little brother and say, "Here, get rid of Rudolph, get rid of the other one, Ray Stevens or whatever it is. I can't hear the church got loose in the Pentecostal church no more. Play this one."
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Okay, well, you guys have a good evening, and thank you so much for coming.
Okay, you too.
God bless
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Love you
Love you
all.
guys.
I love you
Thank
too.
you.
All right.
Bye-bye.
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 Man, what a great couple. You know that?
I know.
I wish more artists
So
had their.
sweet.
I wish more artists had their enthusiasm and stuff. And I think that's the first time we've ever gone over.
Yeah, that's all right. It was worth it.
Yeah. Yeah. What a fun couple they are. And,
Oh, yeah.
and what great
So
music.
sweet.
You know, like I told them, you know, it's very few gospel groups that I listen to anymore. I can't stand Christian rock. I'm probably going to take a beating for that, but it's just nobody has any soul or any ump to them anymore to you know, sit there and not only try to get the message out that they're trying to portray, but where they don't have to scream it.
Yeah.
And this one, you could actually go on a date with somebody with their music and stuff.
Oh, their music is beautiful.
Yeah. I knocked my microphone over here. Okay, we got to get to our sponsors. We're already 15 minutes late. I can hear them screaming already.
We do. Our first one is going to be O'Reilly's. We got JR there at O'Reilly's. And let's see.
JR is a good looking guy, you know that?
Yes, he is. He absolutely is. And that's O'Reilly's in Palatka. And go down there and check their specials out at O'Reilly's in Palatka. I don't think we have anything in particular for them tonight, but JR, they will match anybody's specials in town. Nothing on the internet, though, folks. So they will match anybody's specials for you. But don't ask them to match anything on the internet. And then the next one that we've got is going to be Benio's. Travis, I'll let you do that one.
Oh, Benio rocks, man. Him and his wife, family-owned business. You guys in Putnam County or Volusia County, Daytona, any of those areas, you want well work done, I'm not going to promote another well business because not that there aren't some good ones out there, but this guy, not only besides being a Christian couple, you know, he did so much for Roxy's Ranch and stuff and getting the water up for the horses for the autistic kids to be able to ride in the Wounded Warriors. You know, thank you guys so much for doing that. If you guys need to get well just fixed, especially with the heat and stuff, or if it's you got stinky egg water that's nasty, they're the people to call up. There's ads up there. You can always go back on YouTube and rewind this and pause it. I don't even know what the time is. 8:18. Go back and look at his ad. Get his phone number. It'll also be posted in other places.
Right. Next, we've got Hair by Barbie.
Oh, yeah.
And her special this week is going to be for anyone who mentions IITW radio. She is giving $15 off of color, and that's this week only, and it is also by appointment only. And if you could give her a call, her number is...
Or you just say the Putnam Way, either one.
Okay, yeah, you can give that number as well. But you can... I'm sorry, I don't have her number in front of me.
It's up there on the...
That is also on the ad as well. You can go back and look at that also.
By the way, Barbie, Chris, and I will be in there as soon as I get back off vacation. I got some bush stuff going on here. I need to get a trim. Barbie's the only one I'll let cut my hair. I went to one barber shop and the guy goes, I said, cut it like a man, and he shaved it. He put the razor right down the middle of my hair. I almost freaked.
Oh, gosh.
You don't have about my hair.
Oh, I know. And the last for this segment is going to be Bird Shed.
Yeah, Mr. Bird.
Sales.
Yeah, Bird Sales right there in San Mateo. Mr. Bird rocks. He's one of the coolest guys you'll ever meet. Him and his son actually come out and install the things. You can rent these things, rent to own, no credit check. Go in there and pop a little bit down. They will deliver it, set it up. And in a lot of cases, it's cheaper than what you can get a storage place for.
Absolutely.
The other thing I want to mention before, now that we got birds off of there, I don't know if we have Sheila's picture up there, and I know it's not in the list right now. So if you can find that for me.
Okay.
Sheila Brown Pingleton is a girl we went to school with. Fantastic woman, lady. she's not doing so good right now. I just saw it on her daughter's page. She's asking everybody to pray for her. She does have cancer, and she's starting to take a turn for the worse. If you guys can put her on your prayer list and, just say a prayer for her. If nothing else, that she's eased out of the pain. She sent her daughter had a picture of her holding her hand today. I guess assuming it's at the hospital.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, she took a turn for the worse, I don't know, a few days ago, I guess.
Yeah.
And it's not doing so good. So want to make sure that, you guys pray for her.
Yeah.
She was one of the few people in the world that you could say has never really done anything bad.
Yeah. So, before we start on what we have on our schedule for tonight, anybody that's listening, there has been a wreck in Pomona Park, right in front of the trailer park. For those of you who are out and about, if you're listening, just be aware that there's an accident. Yeah. Just be aware that that's going on. Be aware that there's going to be emergency vehicles moving around in that area. Please be sure to give those emergency vehicles the right of way. That is the law. And we'll put that up on the page. And when we get done with the radio show, I'll get that up on the Putnam Way with the information. We do have a couple of pictures, and I'll get those up as well. And then when we get the information from the Florida Highway Patrol later, we'll get that also up on the page. But just be aware that that's going on. So be careful out there. And you guys don't text and drive. Make sure you're paying attention to what you're doing.
Where exactly is that at? You said the trailer park in Pomona Park?
Yeah, Pomona Park, right in front of the trailer park. That's the information I've been given.
Yeah, that's just a little north of the Kangaroo.
So,
that's bad. There's always wrecks. I call it, instead of Highway 17, I call it Highway 17 because there's so many fatalities.
It's really getting bad out there.
No, people just need to pay more attention, Only takes a second. What they say, it's in 2 seconds, or no, 1 second, you can drift 5 feet across the line. So just looking down 1001 and looking back up, you're already in somebody's grill, sitting in their front lap in their front seat. It's just not worth it. Wait till you get home and text. Save the children, take their phones away.
I mean, if it's that urgent, pull off to the side in a parking lot somewhere and do what you need to do. But just don't do it while you're driving.
Yep. So. What do we got up next?
Okay. Next up, what we have to talk about. Judge DuPont was removed from the bench. Finally.
Yeah, he's the one. If you guys go back, you'll see that we had actually done a show with Robert Baldwin on it. And Judge DuPont had locked him up, put him in jail because he couldn't pay for an assessment on his business. He called it contempt of court. But when you can't pay when you're a single dad raising 2 kids and the judge throws you in jail because you don't have $10,000 to pay for an assessment, he picked from a different county, and not even our county, 60, 80 miles away, to a company up there, instead of letting one of our local businesses take the assessment or somebody nearby, or allowing him to get 3 estimates like the government requires from us if we're going to do business with them. He went ahead and threw him in jail and told him, well, you can pay the money or you won't get out, type of thing. And if anybody deserves to be pulled off the bench just on that one case, not to mention the hundreds of cases that I've had people contact me on, it's just not right. And he allowed those guns because Robert had filed an emergency hearing to get guns back that ultimately wound up, from the investigating I did, wound up in the hands of a known drug dealer who's now in prison, and who knows where the guns are. They still aren't around to this day. So he allowed that to happen when he refused to hear an emergency hearing, or allowed this man to go back and get his guns from a divorce when he knew that the ex-wife was a convicted felon. So he deserves to be off the bench. What information do we got?
Exactly.
The Florida Supreme, the Judicial Qualification Committee ruled on it, or?
Yes, they finally made their ruling. It was effective at 5 p.m. on the 25th, which was Monday.
Now, can he practice in any other counties, or is he just kicked out in Putnam?
No, that was all of the counties where he held a seat on the bench. He is no longer a judge in any of the counties where he held a seat. He's
Now,
gone.
Did they disbar him, or do we know yet?
It doesn't. They said they were going to release more information on it later, and I was not able to find where that's been done yet. So the only thing we know is that he has been taken off the bench. That information hasn't been released in totality yet, so we're waiting for the rest of it to come out.
But one of the things he did was for election too. I mean, he got on there and smeared an attorney up in Jacksonville
and his family
and his daughter, giving personal information and also telling whether he knew it was a lie or not. He went ahead and told, about traffic tickets and stuff, which from what I hear, she never had any traffic tickets.
Right.
But he smeared the guy just to win a seat on the bench, which
Exactly.
he would have probably gotten elected. But he also did some stuff on another radio show where he basically, and this is not word for word, I'm improvising here, but he basically felt that if he doesn't, from what I read, is that he didn't have to uphold the Constitution if he didn't feel it was necessary.
Exactly.
If there's one thing that you guys know about Tammy and myself, when it comes to the Constitution, I don't care who you are, left or right wing, or a nut that's fallen off the tree, do not mess with the Constitution. Don't mess with the First Amendment, the Second Amendment, or the 27th Amendment, all the way through. Those are rights that you're given. Once they take away one of them, they take away all of them. And your Fifth and your 14th Amendment, I asked a kid the other day, I said, do you know what the Fifth Amendment is? He said, I don't know. And I said, kid, he's 18. He's like, I don't know. I said, you ever hear plead the Fifth? Yeah, I didn't know that's what that meant. Yeah, you have the right to remain silent, whether you do or not, but it's your right to due process. Right. When all that's gone, we no longer live as a free people. That Constitution keeps the government in check, and I've said it a million times, and I'll say it a million more. 90% of the people, I feel personally, are afraid of the government, when the government should be afraid of we the people. It's a business. Judge DuPont, whether it's Trump, DuPont, or any of them, the United States is a business. And when we hire these people or elect them to run our business, then they should run it. They should follow the rules. Anybody else, if you had a business selling shoes or cars or anything, if you brought in a person to come into your thing and you hired a whole staff of people to come in and make your business thrive and be a good business, how pissed off would you be if you came to work one day and found out all your money's gone, they've expunged all your credit cards, everything else, and you're trillions of dollars in debt, even if it was only your $10,000 in debt.
Right.
Are you going to keep those people on staff? No. The government, whether they're Republican or Democrat, need to step up and quit playing the crap they're playing, because it's just not right. And I don't care if you're left wing, right wing. I'm not Democrat or Republican. So go ahead with your bad self, Tammy.
Okay. Next, we've got the story about the immigration bill and the vote on the House floor today, which, as you know, it did not pass. And we've got the picture up right now of the live vote on the floor of the House. It was was rejected 301 to 121. And that was the Republicans.
The Republicans won 301.
I thought no.
The Democrats rejected it at 301.
Sorry, that was my mistake. But it was rejected.
Yeah. I don't know what's wrong with those people. I mean, they sit there and talk about immigration reform and this and that. You know, they need to get the crap together. They're fighting one side against the other because of elections. Oh, well, we're going to do this. You know, we're going to get voted in. I tell you what, people are going to get sick of it and go with independence. I think you ought to run for president. You'd be the first female president. I'll be your vice president.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, heck no. It ages you too fast.
Well, I've already got the gray hair.
No. You can be the president. I'll be your vice president.
They don't want me as president. I'd be impeached by both parties in the first month if I even made it that long.
No.
You have the right. Everybody, you can carry weapons if you want. If somebody comes up to you and they're a bad guy and they start shooting at you, shoot them. We'll thin them out real quick.
Yeah, right.
There is no more racism in the United States. If you don't like each other, move out. We'll buy you a plane ticket. We'll get you a plane ticket anywhere you want, one way.
Send you out of the country, right? No.
If you don't like your neighbor, you don't care if they're black or white, and we'll pack the KKK up, and we'll send them to North Korea and let Kim Jong-un go ahead and straighten them out real good.
That is not a job I desire to have. Thank you.
Hey, one thing that's not on the list, but I don't know if you saw it the other day.
What's that?
Is that Kim Jong-un, I guess yesterday, they've got a friend now, don't quote me on the number. I know somebody's going to call up or call in and say, your number's way off. You're off by 3 or 4 or 100. But supposedly, from what I understand now, this, I didn't see it on Fox. I didn't see it on CNN, but I did see it in the Associated Press and the World Press, which if people read that, that's who everybody gets their news from. But Kim Jong-un, they had taken, I believe it was 100 soldiers from the Korean War. They were putting them in coffins and taking them so that they can be returned back to their families and given proper burials. Which
I hope that's true.
Yeah, now from what I read and stuff, I wish the other news sources would report on it, but that's what came out of Seoul and South Korea and stuff, that they were going to be accepting the coffins and they were going to be given back to the families. I mean, that's a good step, whether you like Trump or you don't like Trump or Pompeo or any of them.
Exactly.
Just for them to do that, these families, some of them are already, long gone. They've been dead for years and they never got to find out what happened to their sons, their daughters, mainly their sons in this case, because during the Korean War. But that's one thing that I didn't have it on my notes to just see it across my tiny little brain.
That would be really awesome if those people could come back home to American soil.
Especially if they could do it before the 4th of July. I had a conversation with some young men that were up here today, which I was really impressed. Raymond, I'm going to give you a plug here. Raymond at Raymond Services came out and put the AC in this house, and they did it in about 4 or 5 hours. This is a huge house that I'm staying at while I'm on vacation.
That's pretty good.
Oh man, they came right out. But I was talking to these young kids today, and I asked, they were sitting there talking. I didn't ask them. They were talking about New Orleans Saints and stuff. And the one kid goes, I'm not going to watch any games. If they asked me about the Alabama thing, first of all, because they saw it on my computer. They saw it on my hats. You know how I am. But we were talking about football, and they started talking, not me interjecting anything, but they were talking about how they didn't think it was right that these NFL players are sitting there kneeling on the sidelines, and one kid said, yeah, my grandfather, he hates that. He won't even go to another game or watch a professional football game because of them not kneeling. It's so disrespectful for the men and women that has died for this country. And I said, well, how do you feel about that? And the kid was about, I'd say, early 20s, if that. And he goes, I don't like it. He said, I think they're there to play football, and I was really impressed with that. So, Raymond, you got a good bunch of good guys. Hang on to them, because I haven't seen too many young people like that.
Yeah, that's good.
All right, that was just a couple things.
Smart of him. No, that's fine. I think that's awesome. Was his grandfather a veteran, or did he say, or?
Yeah, he served in Nam, and was one of the guys that, went through all that and had to come back. You go fight and try to help out, and then you come back and you're called baby killer and spit on and
Yeah, they had it
everything
really
else.
tough when they got back.
But, to those families that do instill those values and morals into your kids, if you see them getting down on one knee, say you take them to a local football game, high school football game, you see any of those kids, feel free to slap them upside the back of the head. And then take them to a VA center where these guys are missing their legs and their arms, and their legs were blown off for your freedom. Their legs were blown off so you could actually kneel at a game. At least have some stinking respect for them. And I don't care who you are in the NFL. Those guys that can't kneel would not kneel. But they still stand on their stubs and their nubs, and they proudly salute the American flag, even if they don't have arms in their heads and in their minds and their hearts. They have the hand placed over there, whether it's on their body or not.
That's right.
And then you have these kids running into walls, trying to do all this other stuff. And I remember hearing a doctor say that this one kid, he had done all this crazy stuff, broken limbs and stuff. And he said, have you ever seen anything any worse than this? And he goes, yeah, I did. It was one guy. He goes, he had multiple surgeries, blah, 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 blah. And he goes, well, how did the surgery turn out for him? He said, it didn't. He's dead. Because twice he threw himself in harm's way, and the last time was on a landmine. He had 30-something surgeries and then died. But he did that to protect his fellow brothers and sisters. And there is no race issue in the American flag. It's red and white and blue. Mm-hmm. There's no black. There's no white for white people. There's no yellow for Chinese people. There's nothing of that. That flag is for the people that have died and fought for your freedoms. Whether you say it represents blood or purity or whatever, that whole thing represents blood and souls and sacrifices that these people have made. Do not kneel at a game. If I see you kneel at a game, I'm going to get charged for assault because I'm going to pop you in the head. And yes, that's a threat to anybody that I see kneeling at a stinking football game. Mm-hmm. It's just disrespectful. You don't go fight for your country. These people have no clue what it's like to go dodge bullets just so they can sit there and be safe at home and have the privilege of making millions and millions of dollars while our soldiers are over there eating MREs, which suck. If you've ever tasted them, they're horrible. Mm-hmm. They're not like Mama's home fried chicken or real cornbread with no sugar in it. By the way, when I go up to Chicago, I am going to look him up to make him fry me some chicken and get.
Oh, I bet you will.
Hook me up with some cornbread. If he's cooking for a group of people like that, and those ribs,
yeah,
he can cook me some ribs any day he wants.
Yeah, I bet. Okay, well, on that note, we have some more ads that we need to get to. And the first one that we're going to do is going to be T-Mobile. Chris, if you would. T-Mobile, they are at 2400 West International Speedway Boulevard at the corner of West International Speedway.
Tammy,
yes.
You got a hum coming off your mic. There you go.
Okay. Is that better?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, I'm sorry about that. They are at the corner of West International Speedway and North Williamson. This location only. If you mention IITW Radio sent you, you will get $50, and this T-Mobile will donate $50 directly to a local charity. This week, the new LG G7 Thin Q get $750 off a second one. Buy a Samsung Galaxy S9 and get one free. Buy one Apple Watch, get one at $215 off with an activation, or add a line on a paid Digits Apple Watch plan. Business LG Aristo 2 Plus business customers can get $150 cash back on the LG phone shown. A free prepaid A30 prepaid customers can get a free tablet with $100 in services. Business buy one Samsung, get $360 off another. Business customers can get a great deal on 2 Galaxy S9, S9 Plus, S8 Active, or Notepad. Phones.
Hey, that's what I have.
Is
This
it?
one I just got. Yeah, it's the Note, whatever. It's got this cool little pin in it. I did get that from the T-Mobile, by the way.
Cool.
Well, while you're doing it, I'll try to figure it out.
Okay. Phones in this offer start Friday. Be sure to call the store to get more details, and it's subject to activation fees and sales tax. Also, T-Mobile has a special plan called T-Mobile One Military. Offers 50% off family lines for all militaries and veterans. Their military plan gives veterans, service members, and their families all the benefits of T-Mobile One at a specifically discounted price. 50% off additional line price for additional 2 to 6 versus T-Mobile One with auto pay. All right.
How cool was that?
That is awesome. That's neat.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, it's got the pin. But in this pin right here, you just click this little button on the side. I'm still trying to use this. I'm an old guy. Where's that? Where's that? Yeah, this is pretty cool. You just click the button right here.
Uh-huh.
Well.
Okay. Next up, we have
like that. There it is. I'll do something else with it later.
Okay. Next up, Travis, I'll let you take this next one. Our candidate, April Iser.
Oh, April? Oh, man, I
Yes.
love Iser. I love April. Her and her husband, good people. She's a mother, a wife. She does teach gun safety. She supports our Second Amendment. And I'm not going to say if she's a Republican or Democrat. It does not matter. She's all about the community. She's, I believe, 7th generation, grown up in Putnam County. Her grandfather, her great-grandfather, all the way back. And she's running for District 3. I have been approached by other people to run, in different places. She's the only one that Tammy and I have agreed to endorse right now. But after spending hours and hours with this young lady on the phone, she's about making change. She's also got some great ideas about, instead of like a lot of people getting incarcerated for doing drugs, about trying to help some stuff, get some things set up so that there's some rehab, there's some different programs to help out. Just an all around good lady. I mean, you guys need to vote for her in the primaries and then coming up in the election. Make sure you cast your vote. It's April Iser. It's easy to remember. Just remember April, May, June, July, but it's April.
Okay. Cool.
She's also going to be on a radio show, I believe, not this Friday, but next Friday.
Okay.
We'll see if I can get her. See if I can get her on the air.
All right.
If you're listening to April, call me and let me know. I know she's listening. She listens to us all the time.
Good. Next, we have the stand. That's Matt and Luann's produce stand, and they have 2 locations on Highway 17, one in Satsuma. That is across from, kind of catty corner from the Dollar General there in Satsuma. And then they have the other one, which is at the Agriculture Center near 207 in East Palatka. And you need to go and check them out because they have beautiful produce and they have wonderful prices. Their special this week is going to be on seedless watermelons. That they are $3 each. And they have ears of corn, 4 for $1. Go and check them out because they have beautiful, beautiful produce and great prices.
That's the only place I get my produce from.
I know.
And not only that, but, those guys are about the community. A lot of businesses don't get involved. I've gone to ask, which restaurant I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
in South Putnam. I had asked them if they would be willing to donate to the kids. They didn't want to do that. They felt it was more important at Halloween to give bar money away for drunks than it was to donate $50 to the kids. Anytime I've ever gone there for the Little League or homeless or anything, and a lot of times they'll ask me when I come in, I read this story. Andrea, quick shout out to Andrea. Love Andrea, her and William. Andrea's been working there forever, as long as I can remember. But they've always given back to the community. Even when the hurricane pretty much destroyed their stand and they lost a lot of produce and stuff, and then they were ripped off by some stinking scumbuckets that come in there and stole a bunch of produce, tons of honey that was from an elderly couple down the road. That's how they make their business. They stole, I don't know, I think it was a couple $1,000 worth of honey, jams, blueberries, all that stuff. My favorite, apple butter. They ripped that off. And they ate the cost on that. But even when they were down, they were still giving stuff away to a couple of people that we were trying to help out.
I know. They always have. And last, we have East Side Collision and Towing. I'll let you do that one.
Yeah, our buddy Bob. Hey, Chris, why don't you do Bob's thing for us on that funny little machine there?
Give me a second. I have to get that ready.
Okay, well then I'll do cars for real quick.
Okay.
Cars, great people over there. I don't think they have any specials running right this second, but their prices are cheap enough and their work is good. You don't have to have any specials to go there every day. They treat their customers special. It's family owned. They have, matter of fact, a new baby.
Yes.
So they definitely need you guys to bring your stuff there. But it's local businesses. Don't take your car to St. Augustine. If you got to get the thing aligned, take it right over there. They're not just near Taco Bell. Everybody in Putnam County knows where Taco Bell is because there's only one there. But if you've got to go in and get an oil change or a tune-up or any of that stuff, go over there to Cars. That's where I take my stuff. I'm going to when I get back. They don't know it, but I got some stuff I need done on my truck.
Cool.
Do you want me to read the thing now?
Yeah, this is Bob's ad for East Side Collision and Towing. Our buddy Bob, one of my good friends, he's a single dad with 2 kids. Aiden is actually going to be on our show. We've got some stuff lined up for the little guy there, Aiden. This little kid, I love him to death. He is so funny. We've got some skits and stuff coming up and some stuff that we're having him do right now that you guys are going to want to tune in on Friday nights. It's called Aiden on the Beat. And he's going to be doing interviews and stuff of that. So I'm going to leave it at that.
All right.
Go ahead. Go ahead with Bob's ad.
East Side Collision and Towing, 24-hour towing available. 386-227-0003 or 386-972-6671. They specialize in towing, collision work, custom painting, mechanical work. They're located at 286 Highway 17 South, East Palatka, Florida, 32131. Free estimates. Call Baldwin. Look at all those cars. They go vroom. They go vroom, vroom, vroom. All right. Is that good? Do it?
Yeah, that was,
Did I
thank
thank
you.
you like the proper monkey you want me to?
Okay.
Chris.
Yeah, we're starting to wind down on time here. We got to give a good shout out. We got to give a shout out to Mama Sanchez and Mama Baldwin. And also, I almost forgot. My buddy Jimmy lives up here in Louisiana. He works for AAA. He's always out on the road when people break down. Even if they don't, have AAA, he'll still pull over and help them. He's a good guy. Younger guy. He drives a Chevy. Jimmy, I'm trying to get him straight now, Tammy. I'm trying to move him over to Ford. But then again, I'm
sorry, I'm a Chevy girl.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to get him moved over from LSU to Alabama too, but I'm not having any luck here. But I do like his truck. I mean, he can fire the thing up from inside of his house. He comes out 100 degrees. He's setting in AC.
That's what I'm talking about.
When I was up here last year, it was snowing, stinking ice all over the thing, so much that I got out of the truck and busted my butt right on the concrete, slid down the driveway, and he's sitting there firing his truck up from inside and laughing at me. He said, you should get a Chevy. No. Anyways, Jimmy, I know you're out there on the road tonight, taking care of people, so I'll give you a quick shout out. Hey, where's Mama Sanchez at? Anyways, we need an update.
She's watching. I told you she wasn't going to get on. She don't believe me.
We need to get enough people to write in. Let's say they want to hear from Mama Sanchez. We'll have her call in, and she can go over what's going on with the stars, Dancing with the Stars, or the soap operas, something. Our people need to be informed. I don't watch any of that stuff. I can't even dance. What am I talking about?
Boy, you got that right.
Easy now. I have my moves for an old man.
I wouldn't know about that. Yeah, I don't know what that is.
I don't either.
Let's not forget about your friend Greg Williams.
Oh, Greg. Holy cow. How am I going to forget about Greg? Mr. Constitutional Attorney. He will do anything but murder your mother-in-law or anybody else, and he will not do murder cases. He will come down to Putnam County for you guys to keep getting in trouble or stuff like that. If you're innocent, he's going to come take care of you. If you're not, he'll try to get you a reduced sentence. Either way, the guy is kick butt at what he does. I love that picture of him. He's like the thinking man. Greg is so cool, though. I talk to him all the time. Not only is he our personal attorney for the business and my personal attorney for anybody that tries to sue me, it's not going to work. First Amendment. Luckily for me, they don't lose that one. You know, if they take that one away, I am so pimped. But Greg the guy is phenomenal. You watch him in court, it's like watching one of these TV programs, LA Law or something like that. The guy is that good. But he will work with people that can't afford it, and he'll take payments and stuff. But hey, he had to do it with me.
Okay. Well, let's see. Do we have anything else? I had several other things on the list, but we're getting close to running out of time. You'll get. There's another thing that's a little shorter than that. I want to do the one about the man at the restaurant, Chris. There we go. This gentleman, okay, we talked about Sarah Sanders the other day, right? She got kicked out of the restaurant because she's on Trump's staff. Remember that story?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. This gentleman got upset because they did that to her, and he decided he was going to get back at the restaurant. So he decided he was going to go throw some chicken poop at the restaurant.
Fertilize your business.
Right? And so he threw this big wad of, it was a pretty good amount. And they arrested him with littering and disorderly conduct for doing that. And they're misdemeanor charges, of course, but there were a lot of people who evidently gathered outside the restaurant and held signs and, protested the fact that they had done that. And I guess the owner of the restaurant decided that she's getting such bad press. She actually resigned from a position at a nonprofit there in Lexington where she lives. So she's not too popular these days for doing that.
Can you imagine seeing that? You being the judge and have to do that and the prosecutor and stuff. Let's see. Mr. Chicken Slinger, you're accused of slinging chicken doo-doo. I've looked in the books here, and Chicken duty. I've heard of howdy doody, but not chicken duty. How do we write this up and charge this? I mean, do we give him crap detail or what? I would not want to be the judge.
That would be
prosecutes
appropriate.
So how fresh was the chicken coop, Your Honor? I need to cross-examine him. Was it fresh enough to where it was dried powder, or did it stick to the walls or the windows? I mean, come on. And how much chicken poop could he possibly throw with one hand?
It was a pretty good amount, actually, from the picture that they showed. It was a lot more than just a handful. Let me just put it that way.
He shouldn't have done it, but can you imagine being in a cell with this guy? What are you in here for? I slung some chicken crap. What? I'm in here for armed robbery, and you did what? Chicken duty.
Yeah.
Hey, boy, you're sleeping with me tonight.
I just thought that would be a good follow-up for, the initial story the other day when we were on the line. So people didn't like it.
Oh, we cannot forget this, because guess who I talked to today?
Who did you talk to today? Lee.
Oh, my God. Girl, she said, you better not put that up.
Oh, but you did.
But we got to give a shout out to our beautiful friend Lee. There she is. Lee, see that? I told you. I got something special planned for Lee, though. I'm hoping
I
to
had
get her in the
nothing to do with it.
I'm hoping to get her in the studio. She is one of our good friends, but I made her a promise a long time ago. We want to make her famous. So you guys write in and tell her how pretty she is. And if there's anything you guys would like never mind, I'll get into that later. What time are we coming up on, Chris? Oh, by the way, pop your face up there and say hi. Make sure there's nobody standing behind you. That's not our wave.
There you go.
Okay. All right. How much time we got left, Chris?
2:53.
Okay. Chris is going to be getting a makeover by Barbie, by the way. She's going to do Chris. She's probably going to stripe his beard down to make him look like a wrestler. Shave his head.
Ooh.
Nah, him and I are both going in at the same time. Barbie's going to see if she can do something with this mess I got going on up top here. Yeah, and by the way, somebody said that I had a man bun. There is no man bun on the back. They thought I had a man bun. There is no bun back here. There's barely enough to grab onto. So to answer that question, no man bun, and yes, I do have hair. It's tucked up underneath my hat, and it's not long either.
Used to be.
Oh, yeah, back in the 80s. I was playing for bands. Used to be good looking, too. I don't know what happened to that.
You're still good looking. Don't worry.
A few more years and I'll be in Depends. It won't matter anyways.
Oh, my land.
If I get dementia, I'll be making new friends every day, and you'll be the same one. And that's not making fun of people with dementia either. So, but yeah, real quick, the Supreme Court Justice Anthony Kennedy, 82 years old, announced his retirement today. He's been on the Supreme Court forever. I think he was born on the Supreme Court. But the guy has done a lot for gay rights, gay marriages, stuff like that. He used to be fully right side. He was there. I believe he was nominated when Reagan was in. He's been on since Reagan was in office. And he was voted in. He's gone a little more to the left. But we want to say thank you for your service to our country. And he's one of the 9 Supreme Court justices. He will be retiring on July 29th, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, he's a good man. He's done a lot to uphold the Constitution and stuff. So what else do we have before we have to get off the air? What are we looking at, Chris?
Less than a minute.
43 seconds.
Okay, what's the 2 guys in the picture really? Well, actually, forget that. We'll put them up on, we'll be back on Friday night without on the porch. Yeah, that's our crazy night.
Yes.
And where can they find us at?
find us at the Putnam Way and IITW Radio on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. And we will look for you there. Be sure to like us and share us. Thank you. We've had a great night. We love you.
Thank you for letting us come into your homes, and thank you, Sound of Imani, for being on the air. And also thank you guys. We love you for listening to us, even if you didn't listen to us. And thank you for letting us come into your home, your hearts, your minds. Hopefully we messed you up just a little bit.
Good night.
Good night.